go until we drop. No, we never ever stop. No, we never ever stop. No, we never ever stop. We keep going till we drop. No, we never ever stop. No, we never ever stop. No, we never ever. Ain't nobody stopping us.
They call me. Okay, I'm not going to start with the same joke. I did that 2 times already. They call me one take, Mr. Manny. And I forget my intro. Attention, TJ Maxx and HomeGoods shoppers. You're listening to the Maxxinista Podcast with Ira Glass. We are now on NPR. No, it's just later. My voice is soft for now. A safe place for retail workers everywhere, including DD's and Ross, because I actually went there to buy a new phone mount. Not sponsored. TJ Maxx, I am disappointed in you. The base was not truly based. But Ross workers cannot be like, we're not like other stores. We don't push credit cards. Because you do. Oh, and 10% off? Yeah, I'm implying they copied us. That's the joke. If I explain it, it's not as funny. Anyway, in this episode, I cover our recent remodeling, react to Reddit and TJ Maxx news, but not without providing my much more segment. Stay till the very end to hear my more serious political commentary at the very end. So you guys can escape if you're like, no. We appreciate you for listening no matter where you are and how long you listen to. As long as you listen to my ad. No, I don't have one yet. Segment number 1. Let's start the podcast with the biggest news story ever. Sometimes I mean it. Sometimes I skim our emails and see the title LC News, and I wonder what news events they cover and what they don't cover. It's like our CEO is like the Pope, and every other month she just pushes out an encyclical, and it's like, oh, that long. We don't have time to read your email about the wonders of Jamaica and the advances of the education. But I mean, good for you, but also where's our prep time? And I wonder what news events they cover and what they don't cover, like our controversial decisions to set us back 200 years ago with ink and feather quills. But for legal reasons, I will not elaborate any longer. So let me retreat into my safe space. Comedy. Now you guys can't fire me. Phew, satire. Okay, let's talk about carpeting, you guys. Over the past weeks, our center has gone through remodeling features with exciting activities like packing and unpacking, figuring out how many boxes we can build, ordering tape, taping screws, and taking names. How dare you? Like Greta Thunberg, how dare you forget to update all our light switches? They did that, but don't worry, we're on them. Okay, forget that last part. No major news happens when the biggest LC news is that our carpeting changed from a darker brown to a lighter shade of brown. Not those kind of shades. I feel like I should talk about colorism. What's wrong with my rich and delicious dark layer? What's with the erasure changing the color? Now, I am holding myself back from alluding to yay, nothing twisted, just all fantasy. But the remodeling doesn't stop at work. No, it bleeds into my personal life. I mean, I also do love to visit my storage unit, which reminds me of my current sponsor. Satire. Public. You're telling me that I should stop pretending I have actual sponsors because it might jeopardize my ability to gain real sponsorships in the future? Can I at least tell them about the great deal I had in the first month when it was only $1, and that it was really cool to open the gates and use the elevators directly on my public storage app? It's an orange one in your phone. Guerrilla marketing, everyone. I mean, guerrilla marketing. Sorry. The real shout out goes to Goodwill worker that took some of our random stuff, even though the guy was getting annoyed. I truly hope somebody uses that bed frame. And yeah, that table was ridiculous. You guys, my mom has a problem with tables. There's too many. My room is surrounded by Occupy Manny's room. There's like 5 dressers in this room. It's crazy. over the weekend, we took out so many things. Yeah, that's so descriptive. Gee, Mr. Manny, tell me more. What I mean to say is that we didn't quite remodel our home as much as bring stuff in from the storage to our home. 2 homes that we have, and it's not like that, believe me. I know Hassan Piker. Shot my dog, I can't stop. Yeah, shocking. No, stop. I took home my bookshelf and more boxes than I wanted, but I was really happy to visit my local Home Depot to use their command strips. I'm doing it again. Why would they pay me if I'm giving them free advertisement? And put up my frames of my grandpappy, and my university diploma. Just a civil engineer, my grandpa, but I cannot even build a relationship. I can't even build a cable box. It took me a little bit of trouble. Another unsponsored mention to Target for the really confusing cable box, but I was able to do it. And to my friend who roasted me for being an Uber driver with a BA degree in English literature, you're right. That's right. I am conceding you this point, but you'll never listen to the podcast. If I only had a university that taught me how to hustle, and if only that university was led by 2 men, upstanding members of society, not facing civil claims and criminal charges.
The Matrix has attacked me.
Then and only then could I escape the Matrix and stop being an NPC. And maybe if I play my cards right and invest in #DaddyCoin and do what they tell me in a completely legitimate contest, I can be rewarded with a Bugatti. I had to confess for my insecurities regarding masculinity. I still don't know how to spell Bugatti, so
Masculinity is just fine.
Allegedly. Don't come at me stating that I can't comprehend sarcasm. I love how the first segment was 30% talking about remodeling and 70% fake ad reads and passive aggressive jabs. And the Bernie Sanders was here. The top 1% was a bad impression of Andrew Tate, who sounds like a Bugatti. He sounds like that. So that's the top 1% of the 1% of the segment. I am once again asking you to subscribe to the Maxxinista Podcast, please. The truth is, the most exciting thing that has ever happened to our center after having a special guest at our graduation is that the light switches are now automatic and have a dimmer setting. Ooh. And now we have modern blinds. I know it's not time to rant just yet, but whatever. My nap was interrupted, and no light dimmer can set the mood again after what a certain person did. I will have to tell you this episode also sponsored by Coltrane. I can hear it in the distance. I will have to tell you all that I was in the mood the other day when this unnamed person, okay, fine, Doofenshmirtz, came in like the man from the Ricola commercial and woke me up from my amazing nap. You can tell I'm quite annoyed. I have an alarm, Hendrik. Quit your yodeling. And then I said some things that, due to our training, I now, for legal reasons, want to clarify. Also, I misspelled now. Good job, Manny. Oh, you're right. N-O-W. Okay. Henrik, I was joking, except that when we made faces, you did look like the Yao Ming meme. It's all in the eyebrows. I'm not backing up from that one. Unfortunately, I can't really make a joke about violence prevention training, except to say that I need to take one for the laptops because somehow my laptop ended up under the leg of a chair. Yep. That's your front desk person. Never felt so capable. On the one hand, Hendrik has inspired me in a much more positive direction to discuss our stories, more like famous YouTubers, and I thought I would have a little fun imitating them. Maybe a little fun for you guys hearing it. I hope it's more than just a little. I'll put a picture, so for every YouTuber, You guys can go, oh, that's what he was going for.
Well, you guys, I thought I would review the recent drama between Mr. Mandy and Hendrik over his punches, and everything is alleged during this case, of course, but it seems like someone keeps forgetting to add his punches on Dayforce.
YouTuber number 2. And I'm particularly proud of this one. Buzz, isn't that the kid who would throw gems all over the floor? And what? Are we about to have a former StarCast who works at Kumon on stream? Yes, brother. That's it. I'm saying it. Dyslexia deserved dual coding theory. And then and one of his most passionate and famous outbursts. Yes, burn them. Let their old decrepit book pages burn bright with the brightness of 1,000 suns. Oh my gosh, in Minecraft, of course. Yes. Also, honorary shout out to this YouTuber. Based? Okay, yes. Ooh, my last one is my favorite because I get to do a Valley Girl accent. So, yeah, you guys. So, what happened was that I'm being sued by our CEO because I happened to stream one of her entire videos without saying anything transformative. So I was enjoying some relaxing lollipops. So please enjoy this cute background. Don't forget to I lost the plot. Well, she lost the plot. I lost the plot too. To donate to my legal fund so I can get back to doing original content. I want to call it my relaxing lollipops and keep it PG so I don't get demonetized. But you guys know what I mean. Thank you, phone, for interrupting that. Oh no, it's my donos. No, it's not my donos. Also this last YouTuber who is well known for not having great haircuts. But here it goes. Thank you for listening to my video about dual coding theory. And until next time, leave me alone. And then some cool music. All right, I have to be honest. Based on my looks and not personality and values, I probably do look a lot more like Ice Poseidon. It's a great role model for our youth. And before I wrap up this segment, I want to offer you all an insight into what it was for TJ Maxx to get remodel or have remodel adjacent things happen, for a lack of better words. I still remember the feeling of we don't get paid enough for this when we had to move our long racks of displays called gondolas, which implies something Italian and romantic. But sadly, no, just a bunch of purses or shoes. Sorry, Miriam, that have to be moved. I think the most surprising thing that we found out. Oh? Okay. Shout out goes to the unnamed device, because if I say its name, it's going to start talking. Oh, I have a co-host. I never even said Google. Oh, I said gondolas. I think the most surprising thing that we have found out, other than my brute strength, was how much dust and gross stuff was underneath our floor mats. I also remember our actual topic, remodeling of our store. I think we started with eggshell white, which was giving like sanitarium vibes. Didn't help that we didn't have clocks anywhere. And we switched to paisley yellow so that when we were eating our lunch in the dressing room during the pandemic, we could stare at the pretty wall. All right, now time for... I had more fun with this segment, if I'm honest. Full confession, everyone. In my script, I had originally wanted to move on to my proper full rant segment and complain about how tough it was to do Uber in the pouring rain. But then something happened at the LC. Since the LMB boys are back, I got inspired. Yes. And have you seen that grin that the Grinch does when he that the Grinch makes when he hatches a plot. Side note, Miriam, the story of the Grinch is not the same one as the Christmas Carol. Okay, moving on. Just wanted to clarify that for you. Hola Hafish one more time. And so a big old grin on my face as I plot this. Well, I plan to add more music within my episodes, even though I feel like AI wants me to become a sound engineer when I edit this part. I thought I could make it easier by just recording directly into my phone, but you're not here for explanations and production notes. Since the LMB boys are back, the Lark Street boys are back too, with a vengeance. And for YouTube, I mean a rhetorical type of vengeance. That's right. I'm going to perform a very special and hopefully funny version of the hit song Soda Pop with a special twist. Okay, it's a political parody. This is what happens when you combine the power of the Saja Boys with the contrary nature of Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk. Full disclosure, I've been trying so hard to work on this song. So I'm going to explain why there's Soda Pop on my devices and be like, it's not what it looks like. It's for political commentary. Also, whoosh, hello and welcome to my song parody segment of Soda Pop. Super very popular song, Inner Center, and everywhere else. But what happens when you cross political commentary, witty sarcasm, and Candace beef? This is what you get. I practiced this part 20 times, guys. Don't want you grieve you, yeah. I need you to build me up. Contigo hasta vendo camisas y tazas. Got a feeling, oh yeah. This narrative could be everything that I need. Leaks so sweet, yeah. Every text makes me want you more. Looking like America first, cause you got it mad like that. Woo, they all act man. Take me back, want me back. Ni modo ya no bailaré. Ni modo ya no más Kanye. When you're in my dreams, I hold you so tight. Can't let go, no, not tonight. You know how hard it is to make Korean and Spanish sound like. Llegó el día y aún siento la ira. No sé quién tiene la culpa. Todavía ando revisando pistas. Oh yeah, I got the rhythm now. Cause I need you to feed me. I'm sleeping, you seek me. Empirically speaking, my little psyop. My feet is trembling. You're all I can think of. Every video I look up, you're my Zaya, my little obsessive Zaya. Sporting his role until he flip-flop. Power me up, I won't stop. You're my Zaya, my little Zaya. My little Zaya makes me wanna hit the spot. Hey detective, you hit the spot. Every little leak and clip and then go and chatter. Investiga las abejas, he's getting caught. Yes, I'm selling merch, it's ripping now. Is it done? I need a second clipped out and grieve a lot. And don't you stop till my little Zaya fizzles out. ¿Quién lo mató? No sé yo. Al responsable lo encontraré yo. No, él no es loco. I waited so long for a plot full of holes. So the wait is over, Charlie. Come and build me up. Just can't get enough. Oh, you're all I can think of. Every video I look up. You're my Zaya, my little Zaya. Yeah. These chords for the read around ones. America first, so you're so not. Build me up, I won't stop. Oh no. You're my psyop, my little psyop. Ooh, I didn't think that was possible. Immediately. Stupid. My feet, you guys, is part of the Matrix. Try that again. You're my psyop, gotta grift every drop. My foot is having an episode right now, you guys. It is bad. I hope you enjoyed. Once again, that was my parody, Soda Pop, Psyop. Oh, Netflix, if you are listening while I have you here, please listen to my latest pitch. Ooh. And I haven't done this in a while because I used to offer you exclusive Hallmark romantic movie pitches, which I gave up on that, both in real life. But I know you want something different. Okay, so imagine a group of spunky girls, and they have to take down a group of men with a large platform that people love to hear. We can call one of the men, Neo. Yes, they will definitely enjoy that Matrix reference. Yes, and they will take them down with the power of music. I know no one is asking, but there are more songs coming up later in the podcast, so stay tuned for them. I at least have. No, I have 3. I wanted to make another one, but maybe we can save that for next time. But now it's time for Uber Rants. We're moving to our third segment, which originally was a rant about the rain because that's so interesting. Yeah, let me talk about paint drying too. But okay, honorable mention to the past heavy rain we have had while Ubering in strange areas of the city. It's a bad place to pick up passengers from the hill when it is pouring rain and dark. Let me tell you that. And have you ever had a 30-minute drive turn into an hour and plus? I know I have. This rant, when we calm down, was supposed to lead us into our main topic for the segment, my Uber Rant segment, a part of the show in which I rant about drive sharing apps and deliveries in an Uber way. I'm like, Josh, okay, I have to give you a 20-minute recap before the main story. Do you know how tough it was for me not to say anything about his breakdown? It's a breakdown, Josh. Is it a dance show from like the 70s? I was gonna sing "She's a Breakdown," but I'm probably not gonna do that. Especially after it was the title. It was hard to get over because it was the title on every slide. First of all, I already have covered the rain, except to say the word rain is a trigger because of the song we had to sing in district choir. I am sorry, unnamed district choir leader TD. I am sorry, David Jennings. I am sorry, gospel music. But you're gonna have to wait until my much more segment to hear about those stories. Back to my rants. Ooh. I don't think I ever talked about the Alpha Nuggets complaint I received from a college student, which, well, privilege much. This lady had the audacity to label the delivery as fraudulent. I'm doing air quotes because her nuggies were in the wrong shape. They were dino nuggies. Same brand, same size, different shapes. There were letters. I was helping her with her symbol imagery, okay? And no amount of Colombian delivery ladies that I found after will make me feel less angry. How dare you? Inappropriate joke number 1. I should start keeping track of how many thirsty jokes I made. I mean, it's for water. This episode is brought to you by Dasani, Mia. Okay, now back to your homework. Also, for the curious listener, this story is not about Miriam despite her own Nuggies allegation. I made fun of her already. In fact, I could create a new segment called Miriam's Mishaps or Miriam's Mayhaps, Miriam's Mayhems, where she confuses my cultural references. I think I went back to check on something because I wanted to be diligent and not forget it back by accident. Confession time, I have misplaced bags and mixed them up. Also confession, I had to ask a nice old lady to use her bathroom. You may remember her as the Foxy Lady. No, wait, that doesn't sound right. Fox News Lady. Don't get ideas. Ooh, she looked good in the head. No, just kidding.
Inappropriate.
What could I do then? Get all the way back to campus and drive to the store where I got him from, and I couldn't take her item because she didn't let me have it. So what would I return? I'm already moody because I had to drive 30 minutes towards a prestigious university, find their building, park in some random area because Instacart doesn't know where to place a GPS point. Park over here, inside of their dorm. And I had to wait until a kind soul gave me access to the building. And another one. And another one. The amount of times that the app's GPS has sent me behind the building into a dimly light area of a parking lot, just begging to be robbed while I stand there with 2 bags of an unsponsored grocery store. Yeah, this is where I draw the line, guys. Talked about public storage, talked about Target, but God forbid I talk about Sprouts. Then there are some really nice fancy complexes that make me feel like a peasant entering a feudal castle. Ah, yes, my lord. I don't know why I changed into a lady. Yes, my lord. Could you please bequeath me the code into the scroll? It's the riddle, so I can pass the troll's bridge. If I do that, the audio kind of spikes here and there. So sorry about that. I'll forget the bit. Why do gated apartment complexes require like 12 digits just to enter into their main building? Okay, so far I shared my safer rants, and I want to announce that I will share a brief PG-13 rant, not because of my language, but because of the awkward situation. So it might not be kid in the car.
PG-13.
I will do my best to share the story encoded so the adults driving can laugh at my misery while you kids look at TikTok. 6, 7. Okay, adults, we have about a minute. So I have 2 stories. The first one describes a certain male adult product that I had to deliver. It's giving Homer's Odyssey. It's giving the Trojan War, but basically that gave it away. Nothing illegal or risque. Both still awkward to buy, and it was oddly combined with a box of popcorn. So very classy man there. The best part was me delivering to the man who, before he picked it up, was sitting in his nice comfy chair in a freaking bathroom. So that was awkward. I was so confused. In fact, Steve. Yeah, Joe has Jamie. I have Steve. He's my intern. Why don't you put the footage you captured of me shopping in the store and talking to myself like a normal person? Do we have the tape? Oh, we do? Sweet. Roll it.
You don't get to ask those questions. What's wrong with you, Mom? Why are you so scared?
I still feel like I'm going to get busted by the cops and start panicking. Guys, I'm just holding it for a friend. The second one is about the most recent pairing of cleaning products like soap, yogurt, ice cream, and a product that I felt too embarrassed to ask a worker to help me. Because it was in a certain section, very close section, very intimate section, which was terrible because I could have been a great way to break the ice with one of the workers, but no. Honorable mention of me feeling lost at Home Depot. I had a hard time because I'm not a lady. Guys, I should have tried to find my wooden dowels at Target. Eventually, I found it at Amazon, by the way. These are the moments where singleness is tough, and it's hard not to think, gee, they had a nice weekend. A little yogurt and then something more that I can't say because kid in the car. And end up like Patrick in the Valentine's Day episode. As of this writing, I am also currently dealing with bad breaks, both mentally and also mechanically with my car. And my car sounds like I'm drawing rebar. I said rebar Underneath, I had to march myself to the nearest unsponsored auto parts dealer to buy O'Reilly auto parts dealer to buy something I had no picture of. Speaking of making pictures, shout out to my job for letting me have the day off to fix this issue, and no shout out to Word for failing to realize that shout out is a complete verbal phrase. I hate you so much sometimes. Now it's time for my reactions to Reddit. Also called okay, this is how you know I was tired when I was writing this. Now it's time for my reactions to Reddit reactions. No, that's not what I meant to say. Now it's time for my next segment, Reddit reactions, featuring some shorts and my poo news. The softer
phrasing.
That's how I want to phrase it, really. The softer news coverage before the more serious upcoming political news. I was this close to making a poop joke, but I am better than toilet humor. However, this is a good time to introduce you to my next sponsor, Metamucil. No, it reminds me of our other student with tummy issues. It was like, oh, me relax. Poor girl. Just kidding. It's just me. No ad placement here. In terms of Reddit news, there isn't much to talk about other than more posts lamenting the lack of vending machines and the lack of snacks, which, despite making me sound desperate, I am never one to pass jokes about snacks.
Inappropriate.
Pass up. Shout out to the girl who called me the whole kitchen. That one time she really hyped me up. Because I am a journalist, here are some pictures for you to observe. Just look at the meager rations and the dusty imprint of where our vending machines used to stand. While I was looking for more fun stories on Reddit, I was able to find funny shorts that were relatable for me as an expert on TJ Maxx and HomeGoods. And let me tell you, if Tyler Robertson was found at the TJ Maxx and HomeGoods, there would be skeptics everywhere. Really? That's him? But look at the grainy footage. Or, okay, that one's not the best, but how about this one? Or how can we be sure that's him? If you zoom in and look at the snack he's holding, no one recognizes that brand name. It's like some lentil chips. That's very suspicious. It must be AI. Or look, while he was there, he changed his outfits and somebody ended up with a pair of pants. That's, if you zoom in, that's a Costco brand. So it's pretty fake to me. Candace, you would be surprised what clothing has made it into our return system. But dark humor aside, my tangent should not be capitalized. It's over. I'm going to capitalize. No, I'm going to let Candace alone until my last segment because I really need a palate cleanser. Speaking of palates, first of all, shout out to Michelle for working on her palettes. Speaking of palettes, check out the cosmetics section at TJ Maxx today. We have so many brands you'll love, like e.l.f., MAC, and many more that I don't know about because I'm too manly for this satirical ad. So run.
My masculinity is just fine.
So run. Don't walk to your local TJ Maxx for your latest beauty accessories and pray that to Ernie Herman that the merchandise is still on the box and unused. Okay, and I was praying that the audio was still running and I didn't accidentally close it because I would have been furious. Okay, I'm done paying my bills. One day it'll be true. For this episode, I decided to share with you 2 comedy shorts that I found really funny and thought you would enjoy. The funniest thing for me was how precise they were in describing the items and the type of person that would need them. You'll see what I mean.
Is there any chance you have a snow globe with a small photo of my grandma and all her friends and it says squad goals?
Sir, we love your grandma here. Of course we do. Hi, I found this and I'm looking for Bambi, but just like a little bit sassier. Like she needs to give.
How about these? Do you guys have like a really lanky horse statue?
Sir, do I have just the thing for you? I'm not sure, but do you guys have a metal rocket? And I want it to look like almost inappropriate.
Oh, what does this do?
I've been in the market for a full-size bust of a woman, half black, half white, with bubbles on her head. Is that something that you guys...
Oh, come on. Like this?
Yes.
I'm also looking for about 352 green pillows.
You've come to the right place.
I'm wondering if you have a globe, but with no countries on it, just an inspirational quote.
I mean, what type of question is that? Of course we do. The adventure begins. ...
Okay, I'm looking for a sign to put like near the dinner table just in case people don't know what to do.
Right here next to our directional collection, we do have this, because I know that does get confusing sometimes for people. I'm a seamstress just looking to get into the Christmas spirit. Do you have something in mind for me?
How's this?
I'm a cat lover who's also super into art. Do you have...
Come with me right meow. This is perfect.
And here's what I loved. I loved the 352 pillow references, but did they... First, this just occurred to me. It's not in my script. They don't know the struggle of putting those pillows up and not having every single one fall after you put the other one, like Sisyphus. But here's what I loved. I loved the 352 pillow references, but I did not see the random Starbucks half full cup of coffee tucked in there. Tucker in there. I also really, really love how they know the description of the lanky horse, not lanky box. So, lastly, I think they're no, Annie, don't sell out. Lastly, I think their directional collection with the sign "Gather" was super funny. What else are you supposed to do at the table? Homework? If you're a nerd. I did homework at the table. I was Lisa Simpson.
I'm a nerd.
I'm sorry, Ted Cruz. People will know what that means. Now it's time for Pooh News. This is the part of the show where I cover TJ Maxx Center news before my hard-hitting, award-winning journalism, of which I minored in journalism in college. So that means, depending on who you are, you might be like, wow, that's impressive, or wow, you're part of the establishment media and you have no free thinking. So I don't know how you guys are going to take that, but that's what I minored in. I have 2 criminal stories for you all. In our first story, a Florida man. Wait a minute, hold up, finally, I have reached a YouTube milestone. Honorary mention to this episode for featuring my first Florida man story.
And then look at you, and look at all you have done, and all you have accomplished in all that time. And it's just so amazing, right?
And then our next story, police encounter and catch shoplifters as captured by their body cam footage. I don't even know where to start with this story. First of all, yes, I'm really happy to discuss some Florida man news which has a very small intersection with TJ Maxx, so I can't skip this opportunity. Secondly, how far do you think I can get without complimenting this man's piercing crystal clear blue eyes, sir? You could have done better. Jokes aside, his scheme sounds like what year other shoplifters do, except on a much bigger scale.
Eduardo Rodriguez was forced to give up shopping and is now in an orange jumpsuit after he was caught engaging in what police are calling a sophisticated online purchase and fraudulent refund organized scheme, where Rodriguez allegedly defrauded TJX stores like TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and HomeGoods. The company's losing nearly $130,000.
He buys it online, he returns it, and then he repurchases it. And then he goes back to TJ Maxx with a difference, inferior item, and gets a refund on that.
Police say Rodriguez would purchase items like boots or shoes online, then return them in person at stores across Miami-Dade. However, he would repurchase the merchandise and then go to another store with an inferior or unrelated item and get fraudulent refunds as credit, since the stores were unable to verify what the original product was.
He conducted 744 sales totaling $232,400.80, and both he and his family have conducted 1,467 returns totaling $288,104.90.
Rodriguez allegedly used 18 credit cards and 11 gift cards to make this scheme work. He would also allegedly sell some of those products at this flea market in Homestead. After nearly 2 years, TJX eventually caught on and began tracking Rodriguez's online purchases. In a statement, the company acknowledged the arrest and was grateful for local law enforcement.
The news reporting confused me. Mexican Walter Cronkite here. But based on what they said, it seems like this man was involved in purchasing from online, returning it, and repurchasing, potentially switching it with a wrong or less expensive product. They said an item of less quality, and I was like, impossible. All our items are of high quality. I'm just kidding. Which already confused us as poor cashiers and gives me another personal reason to hate online returns. People act like the mail service doesn't exist. Lastly, what is it about shoplifters stealing our items and selling them in the flea markets? Personally, I think flea markets is another triggering phrase for me because after our customers went to their local flea markets to spend money, guess what? They went to TJ Maxx to spend more money and then tell us that their husband would divorce them if they open a credit card. This is 2025 people. And also that purse seems a little high end. Tory Burch. That didn't raise alarms. Suspicious. The next video is slightly longer, so I will link it in the episode description if you're interested in watching the full version or if I run into technical difficulties. Or if I get tired in Canva.
Why do shoplifters think employees in security aren't watching?
Hello? You was just at Aldi's?
I was.
Okay.
I wasn't in Aldi's, I was just standing outside.
Okay. There's a couple females with you that was at Aldi's?
There was a female with me that went, I don't think she went in Aldi's, but I'm on the phone. I wasn't paying attention, man.
Okay. Wearing a red sweater?
Yeah, she's in a red sweater, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, the Aldi's called us about stealing in Aldi's.
I have no idea about that, bro.
Okay, do you have anything from Aldi's in your backpack? Do you have any groceries in there from Aldi's?
I do not.
You do not? Okay. Do you have an ID on you?
I don't, but I'll give you my name and my social security number.
Okay. Because they're going to want you barred from there. Where'd the female
I didn't
go?
do anything at all. I don't
well, you know what I mean? They're a private business.
I was standing outside, you know what I mean, on the phone, bro.
Well, you know, you was with her. You're guilty by association, I guess, right?
Oh, man, that sucks, man. I'm sorry. I didn't know she was doing that.
Where'd she go?
I don't know. She said, follow me, and then she disappeared. I came around the corner. Like I said, I'm on the phone, and I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
So,
What's your name, man?
Tommy.
What's the girl's name?
I think her name is either Leah or Kim. She goes by a couple different names.
That's a big difference.
I know, but she goes by a couple different names.
What do you call her?
When I first watched this video, I was immediately wondering if this was my local TJ Maxx because it was giving random stores with a grocery store and restaurants that kept closing down. Goodbye Cup of Noodles, goodbye The Havoc, goodbye Firehouse Wings, you get the idea. But it wasn't. First of all, it was, if I was a better YouTuber, I would be able to create a fun bro counter for every time the male suspect called the police officer bro. Sir, it happens to me too. Officer, I can't believe the amount of times I've been broed. Secondly, I got distracted by the audio function. I had no idea you could listen to it in another language. The two were suspected of stealing items from Aldi, which remains a mystery store for me, a California boy. We're not in Kansas anymore. I'm not going to lie, the video is 13 minutes long, but I was really more interested in the interaction between the police and the TJ Maxx employee. Like, that's my tribe right there. Not Aldi's, the knockoff of Trader Joe's.
Hello. Super weird question. Do you know if you had any kind of thievery going on with a female? It's probably about yay tall, red long sleeve shirt, like a hoodie, and then black shorts. She's got a whole bunch of TJ Maxx stuff.
Francie? Hey, Francie, could you come up front real quick? Just gonna call the manager.
I mean, probably too, but
yeah.
I don't know if you guys.
She'll definitely know.
Yeah.
She watches them like a hawk.
Yeah.
So yeah, she'll probably.
Claims everything she has.
Right
Is...
now she's probably on the schedule, so.
You guys have any like half off sales?
Not half off.
All
We
right.
got clearance items with red tags. You can get those.
Yeah.
probably.
Nah, she had like a bunch of some $12.99 stuff and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were asking for you.
And she said she bought everything half off. I was like, okay. Did the bag come from there too? Did you buy the bag too? It looks pretty new also.
Did it all come like a kit? Huh?
Bought it all in whole.
Like the bag and all? Yeah. That's what I'm saying. The bag looks new to me too.
Hello. Hi. Your question. Weird question, but we have a female, has a warrant, got her arrested. Anyway, she had a whole bunch of Gabe stuff and TJ Maxx stuff.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, but she's probably about like yay tall, red hoodie, and black shorts.
I think I saw her out there with you.
Yeah, I don't know when she was in the store, but she claims that she got everything and everything was half off. I'm like, that's flag on the field. That
Half
is,
off?
yeah, that is incorrect. So, but if you want, we can gather the items because we haven't found a receipt for the stuff. And return them to you, or
So I need to get like a receipt showing how much.
Okay.
That would be great.
yeah. It sounds like the other officer has everything separated, so I'll go grab that, bring it in.
Okay.
Are you guys in the business of pursuing charges, or just want the property
So
back?
that I would have to.
I'm not giving you that bag of TJ Maxx stuff. That entire bag of stuff is stolen. I know it. You know it. Whether you bought it for $125 or not, the entire thing is stolen. The entire bag. And there's
That's the whole idea of paying half price for something.
I love the reaction of this worker, for example, when she was like half off at a TJ Maxx store. No. How much more discount do you need? Oh my gosh, was that Jordan? Sorry, blonde joke. Also, shout out to the durable walkies that I saw out there. They're durable, like the old Motorola phones, and they don't snap off and pull your ears, causing you to have the wrath of 1,000 suns. My journalistic eye spotted something quite crucial: the stupid, small, trendy carts that are impossible to move around during a car run. That's the real crime right there. Minute 9 and 33 seconds. After this, the lady is taken into custody and the video stops when she gets out of the vehicle. Candace. This episode is brought to you by Candace Owens' trigger word, vehicle. Can you say vehicle and improve your vocabulary? And if you say car, it's okay. We'll just cut that out. Thank you for listening to Pooh News. We'll see you tomorrow at the same time, providing you the hard-hitting and soft journalism we are well known for. Ooh, now it's time for my commercial. Hey everyone, the Maxxinista Podcast is now launching an online store. You can view my merchandise on my big cartel. That's right, Chrissy Noam. I have cartel connections. Allegedly. Don't you want to arrest me now?
I think he's disgraced himself, to be honest with you.
Anyway, you can visit the Maxxinista Podcast store by visiting my website in the episode description. Here you will always find 5, no, not just 5, more than 5 feature items, custom made for all of you. We have pins, ironic tote bags, hats, cool clothes, and fun accessories. We look forward to seeing you very soon, and be well. Plus my live ad reading. I'm not gonna redo it again because it's time for my much more segment. I might as well get this out of the way. Welcome to segment number 67, which I don't know how my Christian audience feels about that. I swear I didn't plan this out. As always, I like to introduce this segment by imagining a bridge into my much more, get it? Personal and faith-centered discussions and reflections. I do have to admit to my leaders, I am getting classroom fatigue. Okay, I come from working at a school, putting away chairs, not children's as word suggested, and teaching children how to read and access their imagery just so I can do the same at church. It gets tiring. Maybe I just have children fatigue. No, please, it can't be that. As of this writing, I am also scheduled to teach the Sunday school class about the future wedding, as in the parable of the 10 virgins and the bridesmaids. How does this room do it? Don't make me redo my bit on microaggressions. But how am I supposed to teach about going to a wedding? When will it be my turn? I don't need 10 bridesmaids. I just need 1 bride. Okay, no, Brother Manny, that's inappropriate. You can't tell children that. You have Miss Frazzle. How about Mr. Rizzle? Okay, I'm sorry. fine. And I have already made some jokes about Josh, so I can skip those here. I can pass over them. In my opinion, we have been discussing topics that few over discussed, at least the ideas are, not the practice. So I do see the value of learning how to share our faith and the strategy that goes behind it. I think one of those classes where they taught us how to realistically share our faith was the most enjoyable one for me recently. Although no one in the right mind should expect a Pentecostal believer to tell you their story in 1 minute. Nobody did it in 1 minute, okay? Everybody was like 5 minutes. We went to the overflow room. We had a revival. No, but it was definitely more than 1 minute. I especially appreciated this lesson because sometimes I do feel forced to say something, and it comes with us, oh, that nobody cared about that. But that Wednesday, I was able to share a short testimony of what God has done for us so far. I feel like sharing your testimony while you're still experiencing the pain, the waiting, and the struggle is quite powerful because it is easier to relate to than seeing the final product. No, you guys, my miracle isn't that I finally ate something green, okay? I spoke about experiencing my healing through relationships and how I had a difficult upbringing. But we have made really big strides in our journey. And I did eat some lettuce today as well. Now, I do have to say, I'm still not the biggest fan of being used as an example up front because I feel awkward and don't really know how to lean into the skit, Josh. I know I wasn't typing the names of the people on my phone, but I was paying attention. Please reward the introvert by not embarrassing him in front of people and using him as a negative demonic influence over a person's spiritual journey. Thank you. One last note before I close. Just give me 5 more minutes. I'm about to close. We had Pastor's Appreciation Day, and it was a good time for everyone. It was always interesting to see older videos of our congregation and to look at our growth and progress. I especially enjoyed the video where the kids who were interviewed about our pastor. Great editing there. As for the pastor isn't pastor without blank video, I think our youth nailed their impression of their pastors with the estimados hermanos. I felt guilty for not being able to give more though. The sister was like, oh, 50. And I was like, no, it's not that much. Seeing Abi was great because he always has something funny to say, but I got him good in my political golfing joke. I asked him if I could go golfing with him, even though I think I tend to swing on the left. I swing state, polit. Okay. Also, congratulations on his newest addition to the family. Meanwhile, I am a walking stereotype of a overeducated progressive person. And I still have to practice parenting, but no. Josh will bring up parents or marriage while I stare at him blankly like, commitment no matter to sacrifice. Is it like getting a master's degree? Is it like teaching and then you sacrifice your bladder? Because I have not been to the bathroom. Josh, give me something I can relate to. Also, on a personal note, please, Josh, on behalf of the younger people, please stop referring to responsibility as the R word of our generation. That's not what we think when we hear the R word. That wraps up my much more segment and brings us closer to the end of this episode. So stay tuned until the end for my political discussion. You have been warned. I'm about to go Sam the Eagle on you guys. I can't even do his voice.
Kermit the Frog here.
Let me take a little breather. Well, I did it, guys. I became brain rotted and ended my podcast with segment 7. In this segment, 6-7, I offer you my opinions of the political world, the news, my political disagreements, and employ the power of satirical music to deliver my point of view. But first, let's talk about my sponsor. This sponsor is brought to you by... I can't do the joke, guys. Fine, YouTube, I won't make that joke. Just say it rhymes with my email provider, Yahoo. That was the joke. I have already angered you with my usage of the saxophone song from the last episode, so my viewers from Russia need to be patient. Don't worry, you guys. I will send Tim Pool to smooth things over because he's my number Adin Duvarish. don't think that's proper Russian grammar, but you get the joke. The problem of this segment is that I like to tackle each topic in depth. And yes, at least I can tackle topics, but I don't think I can tackle people very well. Let me cook. We're cooking. Okay, that reminded me of something else. Let me tell you what you can expect from this segment. And if you made it all the way until the end, I appreciate your support, including my one aunt who's bravely still listening. As I have hinted lightly, I plan to respond to Candace Owens' continuing claims regarding Kirk's death, discuss her last lawsuit with the Macrons, her problematic take on the Holocaust, which will extend into my critique of the growing burst, and also introduce my controversial figure, Andrew Tate. You can kind of scratch this out because I'm actually ended up switching it a little bit and focusing on her recent interview with Norman Finkelstein. And the interview was not normal. I'll talk about his alleged claims and charges, as well as my disagreements with his positions. And by that I meant Andrew Tate, but I didn't get to talk too much about Andrew Tate. So maybe my next episode will give you guys updates there. Finally, I will respond to some of the pushback against me and highlight some people that I believe are quite extreme. If I have time, I do have a secret under my sleeve. But first, the song I promised, I'm gonna take you back. What we do is go back. I can't do the song, but you know. But not back like iDubbbz. Instead, back to the early 2000s. Kind of like iDubbbz, but okay, different humor, that's what I meant. Because I have an emo cover about Candace Owens and Milk Bar TV and the implications of copyright claims and commentary. H3 did it better, though. Shout out to them for setting precedent. But they're not the ones singing a parody of Miss Murder. Listen, guys, it's not as bad as it looks like. Okay. But I did call it Miss Candace. And I hope you will enjoy my song. Hey, Miss Candace, can I? Hey, Miss Candace, can I make my commentary stay if I say something nice? Whoa. Strike, she fights, and you two bow before her. Simply a strike can break your heart. The fair use that protects her rights, she left them all behind. We're left to wonder why our videos are now offline. Hey, Miss Candace, can I? Hey, Miss Candace, can I make my commentary online? If I say something nice, whoa. Claims of her strike shouldn't pass. Oh, how they all adored her. Fair use will last when she spiraled down. The facts that mystify, she left them all behind. And how his listeners cried. She sent that copyright strike. Hey, Miss Candace, can I? Hey, Miss Candace, can I make my commentary online if I say something nice. Whoa. What's a crime to theft within this legal mystery? I would gladly add my own commentary and transform it. That freedom you love, your liberties and rights will fizzle out without hope. We're the empty heads. We're the empty talking heads, just floating through, wrapped in skin, ever stealing content that we promised, reaching for that silver play button, but we'll never let it go. But who would ever let us put our filthy hands upon it? Hey, Miss Candace, can I? Hey, Miss Candace, can I make my commentary online if I say something nice? Whoa. Hey, Miss Candace, can I? Hey, Miss Candace, can I make my commentary online if I say something nice? Whoa. And that was a song. I hope you enjoyed it. And that was my parody of Miss Murder, aka Miss Candace. I guess like Miss Censorship would be a little bit more appropriate. Miss Copyright Strike would be better. Maybe. Who knows? But we are back in the present times. So long, 2000. Emo music and hello, political thoughts. I know I had some predetermined topics I wanted to cover, but before I start walking across a minefield, I wanted to truly open up my heart and express that discussing politics has not only been exciting, but frustrating and often draining. So if I come across as a little bit more hostile, aggressive, emotional, or spicy, know where I am coming from. I am Mexican, of course. I want to push back against the labels and name calling and shift towards addressing the narratives and arguments put forth. I have found voices that do well at articulating my positions better and reflecting Christian values, like even praying for the people that they are in sharp disagreements with, which is great. But in all honesty, I still want to keep my sharp wits and tongue. Okay, tongues. I put in brackets pray, and I'm like, I will pray privately for now. I don't know, but I mean, I seen Kanye West apologize about his comments and like talk to like a well-known rabbi, and everybody's like, oh, that this really happened, so prayers for his mental health and for Candace, I don't know, prayer for her sanity. Please, Lord, open up her eyes. Let her see that the world is indeed a globe. Okay, but actual prayers. I feel like Kanye West with Taylor Swift. I really follow it up with very ironic, Manny. Not like Kanye from his Christian era. Oh, hold the phone. Candace said Christ is king. Okay, that means I can't criticize her anymore. Candace should not live rent-free in my mind, especially with California prices, she should at least pay, but she does not. As the case is still developing, it's hard to keep up with everything that Owens is alleging, suggesting, nudging, prodding, or if I state it a bit more neutral, yes, I should, covering in her show. And then there's also the figures that are responding to her. What's annoying is that you have to walk between a tightrope and avoid the pendulum swing of, oh, so you don't like her. That means you must that means, I don't know why I turn into like a Redditor. That means with my finger up. Well, actually, no, but I do feel like you're placed into like a box where it's like, oh, you don't like what this person has to say. So clearly you agree with this other very extremist figure. And that's not always the case. From this point, I like to begin with my more casual criticisms before moving to my more developed critiques. So my casual critique. I have a difficult time convincing people in my life that when Candace Owens covers news stories, she tends to rely on her own intuitions, vibes, and feelings. This is the critique that I like to call the Activia critique, because I like yogurt. When you rely more on your gut rather than facts. Previously, I highlighted examples where, in my opinion, she uses assumptions-loaded phrases like "that's weird" to say something indirectly and allowing her readers to fill in and follow her conclusions. Oh, and don't make me bring up that auntie on YouTube. I don't remember, but maybe I'll link her. That roasted Candace when she was observing the murder footage and saying that was weird that Rob McCoy was on the phone. Candace is out here like it's 1950s, where you have to be like, "Oh, excuse me, husband, can I have permission to use the rotary phone?" And then rotate the landline phone, press each number one at a time to hear the dial tone, and that's weird that he was on the phone so quickly and that he wasn't dialing. It's weird that he walked away calmly. Yes, it's so weird that if Kirk was so apprehensive about facing a dangerous situation that he gave him instructions in an emergency. That's kind of weird. And what kind of husband wants someone to let their wife know what happened? Don't worry. JD Vance will comfort her. That's weird, right? This is loosely based on her reaction to Rob McCoy and her analysis of her video of the shooting. So, like I said, kind of casual comments. Don't take these ones as seriously because they haven't paid as much attention to this, but everybody is freaking out about the hug. And I'm just going to say from a more conservative Christian upbringing, I want that hug. But, no, handshake.
What's that?
A handshake, a friendly handshake.
A handshake? That's the big gift? You got me a handshake?
A friendly handshake. Happy Valentine's Day.
Previously, I also criticized her on relying on non-empirical experiences that can be personally significant, but difficult to prove. I will summarize my arguments again here. I find it weird that she will reference her dreams and Kirk's ominous dreams as evidence or a piece of the puzzle. As a way to convince her audience that she's onto something even when that something isn't clearly identifiable. She cited her dreams and said that Kirk told her that he was betrayed. I can believe that she believes that Kirk was betrayed and had the dream, but it's another claim to believe that she heard this from Kirk himself in a supernatural way. I also find it suspicious that in an article where she is discussing her dreams with Kirk, she also claims to have known her producer was pregnant with a boy before her producer became pregnant. Yes, it's tempting to say, oh, Candace, 50-50. I mean, it would have to be a boy or a girl, wouldn't it? Right? If you're a more progressive person, you know what I mean, though. Like, the sex of the baby is like either one or the other. Oh, no, I lost you guys, too. It's just me. I'm just Ken, but make it about a political nomad. I can't find a home anywhere and everybody's calling me spineless. Here, the mini pushback would be to ask if there were any clues that led her to believe that her producer would be pregnant, or if maybe she was pregnant herself and had just like the weird dreams. Nothing, just, I had a dream. Candace Owens' favorite person. And then boom, it happened. Candace, when will you have that dream for me? That would be nice. Thank you. This to me suggests that she views dreams as a valid form of evidence to support her narratives. As she states in the same article, her personal beliefs that people can communicate to others while dreaming. She was quoted. I kind of paraphrase there. Let me clarify my concern. I am not completely opposed to supernatural interventions, revelations through dreams, and I can even relate to dreaming about people who have passed away. I had many dreams about my father before that would give Freud something to think about. Oh boy, do we want to bring him up too? However, how can one prove this moment happens and that dream has real world connections beyond perhaps our brain problem solving at night? What makes a dream go from a personal experience to a valid piece of evidence or a method of revelation? I think one of the real problems is my breathing. I have not. I think one of her real problems that I have with Owens is her self-reliance and her unwavering confidence, with few exceptions, where she had admitted correction publicly. For example, in her discussion of the Egyptian plane she talked about in one of her latest programs, in which she confused the local time with UTC. And did I know what that was? No, but once I looked it up, I was like, oh, and it kind of changes her claims. It kind of doesn't work. So that was one thing she got wrong. Additionally, a recent example of pushback she has received from the mainstream media highlights how her standard of proof that she applies to others fail when applied to her own example of evidence. As seen in her interview with CNN. Yeah. Okay. Can you stop booing? I'm almost done. All right. Candace was corrected by the interviewer when she began to claim that she was skeptical about the text exchanges that the shooter allegedly had with his transgender partner. Initially, she referred to the text exchange as Discord messages, which contradicted the indictment, which clap emoji had not clap emoji read. So, Furthermore, she had also expressed doubt about the authenticity of these texts because they lacked a timestamp. Fair enough. A person can suspect that texts were fabricated or sounded odd because of the language in the text. In my opinion, not ChatGPT's opinion. I just use it a little bit to format and to restructure. In my opinion, I believe the texts do sound odd, not old. Come on, ChatGPT, you were supposed to help me there. That's a joke. In my opinion, I believe that these texts do sound odd, but that's because Tyler Robertson had an odd way of speaking, so it reflects that in his text. Her critics point out that her own recent text to Charlie Kirk could be fabricated, and by her own logic would fail since they also lack timestamps. She later on in another show was able to show, like, I guess, scrolling up, so it wasn't like screenshots, which made it more believable, but they were still lacking like the timestamps. And there were some pictures that they were also analyzing as, oh, that fishing picture looks a little bit suspicious. A little bit like that fishy looks a little too smooth. And yeah, and that's not my area of expertise. To me, what speaks, not me photoshopping. I haven't done any Brooke. Oh, no. Not me photoshopping Brittany Arroyo's head in like a Christmas photo or something. So no, I am not an expert in this. To me, what speaks more volumes is the fact that she has decided to spearhead this investigation and question the official narrative. But she has not taken the time to read the indictment, which is just another example of her unfounded and unquestionable confidence. I think what I'm trying to say there is, like, if you want to question like the mainstream narrative, that's your freedom, but you should get to know the mainstream narrative so you can criticize it properly. And so if she didn't read the indictment, that kind of shows that there's still some holes in her knowledge there. Holes, everybody's favorite book. Now in Barnes and Nobles. Now it's time for another level of critique. This time, my critique was sparked by my initial reaction of a viral YouTube short where she interviewed Norman Finkelstein, a political scientist whose primary...
It's actually Frankenstein's monster.
No, it's Finkelstein. I just can't say his name right sometimes. Whose primary research field is Israeli-Palestinian conflict and the Holocaust, and some key moments that grabbed my attention from the full interview. In a moment of empathy, which IDUBS taught me how to do very well, I too would struggle, as Candace did, trying to say Alexander Solzhenitsyn, or I just like, like when you're trying to read a story to a child and you find a word that you don't know how to say, but you don't want to reveal your ignorance. And you're like, I think that word is said this way. Is it representative or representative? You'll never know. My critique is twofold. First, under conversation concerning Holocaust controversies, unsupported claims about well-known Holocaust Elie Wiesel, and then I'll discuss their language concerning campus protests. Crud, I think I mispronounced Elie Wiesel. Huh. ChatGPT, good thing I didn't add that in my argument, right? That would have been very ironic and would discredit me. I'm not going to lie. Listening to Candace Owens' episode for 2 hours is not easy for me, so I decided to be strategic in my time and focus on the more serious conversation that Owens had with Finkelstein. Shout out to YouTube for timestamps and playback speed. Well, I'm going to try to cut down the jokes here, of course. I had a major problem with Owens pushing claims with unwavering confidence about Elie Wiesel. How am I going to say his name? Oh no, more suspicions. Is he who? Oh, okay. Gotta get his name right. Or be all fancy. It's short for his full name is Elie. Can't read in any language. All right, let's just call him Elie Wiesel, being a fake Holocaust survivor. I like how my voice is just falling apart here. Prior to introducing this major claim about an established Holocaust figure, she talks about how she feels prohibited from her favorite activity, asking questions about the Holocaust, beginning with musings about the number of casualties. At this moment, and throughout the rest of the interview, I was really hoping that Finkelstein would push back harder on her more extreme claims concerning the Holocaust being exaggerated. She claimed that it was exaggerated communist propaganda, and her skeptical attitude towards the cruel science experiments done by Nazi doctors like Joseph Mengele. After that, Candace fully develops her theory by pushing the claims of Nicholas Gruner. And I said that name correctly. Nice. Another Holocaust survivor who alleges that Wiesel is a fraud who is attempting to pose as his fellow Holocaust survivor from Auschwitz.
May be offended by this theory, you can push back on it. But particularly, I felt even more confirmed in this theory. Are you familiar with Nicholas Gruner?
No.
Okay, so Nicholas Gruner was an actual Auschwitz camp survivor. He was on the march, same march as your parents were on.
My father.
Yeah, your father was on, and he wrote a book in Yiddish about his experiences. And there was his friend who was with him on this walk, who he wanted to reunite, wrote this book in Yiddish. And when he found out that his friend had wrote this book and it had been translated into English, he went to go meet him, right? And it was like, I'm going to be reunited with somebody that was in this camp with me. He gets up to shaking this person's hand, and he's like, "You've taken on the identity. This you're not the real survivor. That person whose hand he shook was Elie Wiesel. You might be familiar with him because he wrote the book Night, and it was proven that he lied about certain parts of it. Nobody knew why, what this was, and so."
Additionally, Gruner argues that his friend is the real author behind the manuscript of Night, written in its original language, Yiddish. So he stole his book and his experience. Is kind of how that claim goes. Owens echoed the past unproven claims which attempt to discredit Weasel. I'm gonna have such a hard time being like, this guy's credible, but his last name sounds like a weasel, and it's undercutting my narrative here. Weasel. Supposedly lacking an Auschwitz tattoo, exaggerating a possible vague claim of familial connection between Wiesel and Robert Maxwell, the father of the infamous Ghislaine Maxwell. Got it. Epstein, bad. Talk about Weinstein, and I wonder why you go so. Why are you so he was just. No, I don't want to straw man, but basically, she's really black and white about Epstein. But when it comes to Weinstein, in my opinion, she's kind of more like, oh, he did bad things, but the women benefited, so it's yeah, I'll get into that some other time. But to the point, Owen's claim of them being cousins is not only unsupported, but the authorized biography doesn't outright claim that they were cousins, more like potential distant relatives. One of the claims she proposed with unquestionable authority on this subject was conflating the Romi ethnicity with Romanian nationality when she called Wiesel a gypsy multiple times who stole the identity of a legitimate Holocaust survivor. First of all, I don't think gypsies fared very well under Nazi Germany. It's not like they were loved either. And now we're bringing stereotypes into the table. Those deceitful gypsies who just travel around stealing people's stuff and identity and experiences and trauma. Now we're bringing stereotypes. Come on, Phil. I can't read. Finkelstein literally explained to you the differences between generalities and stereotypes. You know about those. Finkelstein response to this accusation. How many chunks do I see in the word accusation? He was much more muted and moderate and reserved, as he deferred to unlikely allies who have supported him in the past and have also questioned certain scenes of Wiesel's memoir as impossible to have happened at Auschwitz, or at least I don't know if they're impossible or improbable. I don't know which one's the best wording for that. But they have lightly questioned some aspects of the memoir. The most positive comment I can make for Finkelstein is that he was able to acknowledge the human limits of memory. But I did find his attitude towards other Holocaust survivors as cynical, and his reliance on the claims made about his father, another Holocaust survivor, about Wiesel not to be the final authority. That was more anecdotal. Why do they not apply the same rigorous standards of the limits of human memory and the possibility of misremembering someone after a long time and trauma towards Gruner? Is there proof that the alternative explanation that perhaps Wiesel passed through Auschwitz on his way to another labor camp is there proof of that? It's not the common understanding from my understanding. So I hope you understand my understanding. Okay, I'm getting tired and I'm almost done. All right. From here, Owens made some comments that I find troublesome as she began shifting to persecution and purges committed by alliteration, committed by the Soviet Union towards Russian Orthodox Christians. But she fails to mention other religious groups that face persecution as well. Instead, she talks about the 66 millions of Russian Orthodox Christians who were murdered. But we can't question this number now, can we? Owens pushes this claim and frames it as a Holocaust against Christians by Jews. And to bolster her claim, she brings up another name. This, you know how when we make kids read those books and they're Nova Scotia and they're Nova Scotia. I feel like that with the next name. Genrik Yagoda, the head of the NKVD under Stalin, who also later executed him for supposed treason, for being a right deviationist. Candace also neglects to mention the previous and latter heads of security under the Soviet Union who were not, in fact, Jewish. If we apply Owen's logic, chutzpah. If we apply Owen's logic, we will find Catholics, Russian Orthodox, ethnic Russians, and Georgians, not the state of Georgia, who participate. I don't know. She might be like, it's weird. They have the same name. Well, okay, I'm sorry. That was a little low blow there. But yeah, there were different, people from different backgrounds involved in this who participated in these supposed mass murders. I don't know the numbers and the stats for the people and the religious groups who were murdered, but they are left out so she can focus solely on Yagoda's Jewishness without even providing proof that Yagoda's Jewish identity played a part or any role in the Soviet Union's targeting of Russian Orthodox believers or any other religious and ethnic group for that matter. I wonder what Candace would say when she finds out that the Soviet Union persecuted Jews. Could it be that the official state religion, atheism, and their leadership's insistence of a militant form of atheism had any part to play in their suppression of religion? Oh no, I'm just asking questions. Yeah, Soviet kids were like with their signs being like, "Do not no." Can I do the accent? But they had the little posters and they were like, "Say no to Christmas. Say yes to National Leader Day." I don't know. Yeah, I was like, Labor Day is good, but Christmas is too religious. For Owens, there are two kinds of categories of Jews: the real quote unquote victims of a Holocaust that she often questions, and the psychopaths. Those are her words. YouTube, not mine. Which she views as very. Which it's because I was trying to frame this in a better way. Okay, yeah, ChatGPT was checking me there. But the psychopath is directly quoted from her, and then, which one could argue she views them as bloodthirsty and child killers who want the destruction of Palestine.
They wouldn't pal around with them.
No.
Of
course they wouldn't.
And that was the command at the end of this 314-page report, that you have to be inclusive of the Israeli Jewish students. We have to be pluralistic. No.
Which, by the way, one of the most offensive...
They called it, you have to stop shunning them. That's the word.
I'm actually comfortable shunning murderers.
Totally,
I am. Call me whatever you need to
agree.
call me. That's why I always say you got to get over their game of ad hominem attacks, because if we've got to be called names, not hang out with murderers, we got to get comfortable with that real fast.
That's exactly. You got to get comfortable real fast with murderers. No, that was the anti-Semitism. A large. I wouldn't, certainly not a majority, but a significant number of the campus protesters were Jewish.
So. Yeah, a sweeping generalization there. Oh, and who can forget that and who can forget when she made her very sarcastic remark that Nazis can be terrible criminals until the United States took them for Operation Paperclip. I don't know what she was trying to do there, but just being like, oh, they're victims, but then we get over it because they're politically expedient for us, and then we don't care if they did any war crimes. That's, I think, what she's trying to say. Wait until Owens learns that in some cases, oh my gosh, you guys, Jews in the American army had to do horrible things for these scientists, like go in stores and buy clothing for them. Of course, there were times where these soldiers were angry. And there's some stories of them just driving them around. I don't know if they were blindfolded, but okay, this wasn't a top secret military base, because of course they had to hide them. And I remember them by buying winter clothes and then them driving them around, almost blindfolded, and they were just also scaring them. So, I can't say like I would be like, yay. But also, of course, they were pissed off. They were Nazis and they didn't like the Jews. So there's that. Probably not the best transition that I did there, Manny. But this is better. For Owens, there is no good Zionist. No, not even one. Biblical joke there. How will she explain the fact that you could interpret this as her calling approximately 72% of American Jews with a sort of attachment to Israel with different views and political persuasions as psychopaths? I almost said persecution there. Freudian slip, maybe. That's a bit weird. So yes, if 72% of American Jews have some sort of connection to Israel, according to the 2020 Pew poll. Pew pew. What does it say about? I'm trying to argue that she doesn't have a nuance when it comes to Zionism. She just views it in the most egregious, violent expression possible. And I'm not saying that side doesn't exist. I'm saying like if 72% of American Jews have some sort of attachment and care for Israel with their different views and political persuasions, that does not make them psychopaths. So what does it say about different forms of Zionism, past and present, and current Jewish politicians, whether on the left or on the right? But I did highlight Bernie Sanders. I mean, like, how would she refer to him? In my opinion, I think she creates these two categories because it allows her to question Wiesel's credibility as a Holocaust survivor and outspoken supporter of the state of Israel, which I think is really her critique behind the critique. Which, by the way, does not mean that I personally endorse his positions, but at least I'm not flirting with Holocaust denial to get there. As an aside, and as a reader of Wiesel, I find it curious that neither Owens nor Finkelstein offered any alternative explanations for why, after all these years, Wiesel might not be able to speak Hungarian but prefer to speak in English. Nope, we're just going to go with the most inflammatory version possible. He's a fraud, allegedly. Oh yeah, let's not forget that he moved to the United States and lived in France. So he could have been much more comfortable with those languages. That has as much validity as somebody saying that I'm not Mexican because I speak English and don't like jalapenos or salsa valentina in my popcorn. Opponents of Wiesel's experience at Auschwitz will prefer to think of multiple identities of similar sounding names rather than admit there were any clerical mistakes and that tattoos can indeed fade over time, just like our human memory. From the nuanced and cautious conversation, we move to the more current, pressing, and in my view, more rhetorically charged section of the interview, where they discuss the current situation and suffering of Palestinians in Gaza as a genocide. No questions asked, no probing the human limits of memory, but rather a black and white accusatory portion of the interview, where they portray IDF soldiers in a really extremely negative and violent light. Once again, after calling Zionists psychopaths, you can kind of argue that she's could view the IDF soldiers in the same light as like child murderers. Those are more along her words. I'm paraphrasing here, YouTube. Also kind of tied into like the encampment situations and like complaints of like Jewish Americans / maybe IDF soldiers. I wasn't quite sure what the distinction there, so I could go back and listen to it. Will I though? Okay, maybe I should if you guys are more interested, but yeah. So roughly, some Jewish Americans felt really unsafe in their universities around the time of the encampments. Finkelstein pushes back on what I assume were the university's demands for inclusion, where Owens made her sarcastic paperclip remark. She was like, "Oh, I'll include Nazis too and then forget about their war crimes. And plurality. They highlight the Jews who supported the pro-Palestinian demonstration and, in my view, use them as a reason to minimize the fears and of safety from other Jewish Americans with different views, whether like they're moderate or more much more opposing. But I'm trying to say that even if there were some Jews who supported the pro-Palestinian cause, which I am aware of, if there's still complaints of other Jewish Americans, we should not be so quick to dismiss them. My Hispanic accent is coming out, Candace. Okay, you can now stop questioning my identity. My stance here, by the way, should not be viewed as an excuse to condone the actions of aggressive counter-protests, but instead to highlight the reckless use of language targeted at IDF soldiers or Jewish Americans during the time of the encampment protest. Whatever happened to Owen's earlier take that you could have an identity and have multiple things going on, do more or be more than just your identity? Very reductive there. In a much more positive note, I found it funny how uncomfortable Owens looked in the interview when Finkelstein used the Flat Earth Society as an example of someone who has all the right in the world to question the majority view, but that they must be able to respond to the, quote, mountain of evidence.
It's sort of like the Flat Earth Society. When you want to deny a certain phenomenon, of course, you have the right to deny it. That's as to
She looked like, I don't like where this is going. We see you, girl. After all, it's really easy to see you. I was practicing the vocabulary word spot. It's very easy to spot you without the curvature of the earth in the way. That wraps up my critique of Candace Owens. For this episode, honorable mention goes to Nick Fuentes, the far right, quote unquote, honorable mention, by the way, YouTube, goes to Nick Fuentes, the far right groiper. I still don't know where that word comes from, and I would like to find out. He is a fan of a certain Austrian painter, as well as a really short Georgian man with a thick mustache. Kind of minimizes their infamous place in history, but also ad revenue. No, just kidding. But yes, big fans of those two guys. And Owens, you do have some gatekeeping and boundaries to make. As his videos show, Fuentes has flirted with, skirted around, and coyly, because someone has a thesaurus, suggested that the Holocaust was impossible, using the tasteful metaphor of cookies and ovens, which betray the common Holocaust revisionist talking points. It's occurred to me now that Finkelstein made another statement that kind of puzzled me, that historians are unclear as to the moment the Holocaust officially began and Hitler's motive for it. I can concede that there are some gray areas, as I am not a historian, but surely there are, at least I am, at 11 o'clock. If I have to fill in for Mr. Ryan, I need to become a historian. But I like being the ELA teacher, so I hope that keeps on going. But surely there are at least several reasons why... Oh, I already said Hitler. Okay, forget YouTube. But surely there are at least several reasons why Hitler could have pursued his goals. Surely his desires to conquer Eastern Europe, subjugate inferior, quote-unquote, inferior races to the Aryan race, provide Lebensraum, and of course his portrayal of Jews as traitors of Germany, the cause of their loss of the World War One, the whole stab in the back theory, and their portrayal as vermin could have played a part in his motives. I'm trying to say that anti-Semitism was at least a big part. Speaking of someone feeling the heat. See, I too can make tasteless jokes, Nick Fuentes. Speaking of someone feeling the heat, Tucker Carlson. You heard of the thinking man? I now present you the continuously shocked man. Carlson has now apologized for his recent interview with Nick Fuentes, and if you want my perspective, I think he went too easy on him and didn't push hard enough on his extreme positions. Critics of Carlson characterize this as a soft and cozy interview, which is how I would like my dates to go, joking about not being fed, and Fuentes probably sharing that Stallion's birthday is a very special date for him, not how I would like my dates to go. I don't have a problem with interviewing controversial figures. Hey, I too enjoy watching Piers Morgan and the interesting array of guests. But in my opinion, Senator Ted Cruz faced more pushback, even rightly so, for not being familiar with facts about Iran and his biblical arguments for supporting the state of Israel. Slurring. But you have no serious questions for the controversial Nick Fuentes? Are you pulling a Hassan Piker? Do you get really excited that they have a KFC in Yemen? No way!
Is there a KFC there? They're everywhere. I don't think there's a KFC in Yemen, dog.
He says they have two.
Oh, they do have KFC in Yemen? That's crazy. Okay, that's sick.
Is there a KFC in Yemen? No way, dude!
It's 10:15. I'll be a little. Which brings us to our next sponsor, KFC. Finger licking good. A satirical ad read, so don't sue me, YouTube. Or KFC. Get yourself some potato wedges. Tell me if I have any lawsuits. Go measure Brigitte Macron's hands after asking her. Because we still don't know what happened on that front, right? I mean, I said her. So we don't have any resolution there. I don't know what happened with the lawsuit. I'm not going to comment on it. And most of all, thank you for listening to the Maxxinista Podcast. We hope you are highly satisfied with your listening experience. Also, I'm going to do the TikToker. If your name is not Bibi Netanyahu, you can keep scrolling. I have something to say to you. I'm waiting. Shall I pick it up where we discussed it? No. Yeah, he has no idea. No. We won't end on such ominous conspiratorial note. So we'll end up on a more capitalistic. So subscribe, and comment. And don't forget to also visit my online store, Capitalism.
That's capitalism, baby.
Clicking the link in the episode description. Please enjoy my parody of Power on the way out, and be well. Also, the theme song. We still like the theme song. I'm creating that online commentary, doing something new to it. Produce lives better than anybody you ever seen do it. Play clips from brief videos without proper context. I guess every content creator has their own critics. No one man can fact check all my power. The truth is shrinking, I just grow my own platform. Stop leading, I'm speaking truth to power. 21st century news media guide. The narrative's broken, the plot's lost, the leak's wide open. I ain't got nothing to lose, although heads are rolling. Everybody, our heads are rolling. Villainized by the media and wealthy donors. In this cabal run, we the ones chosen. So goodbye, Kirk, I'll see you in the morning. Probably the OU. This is way too much, I need a moment. No one man can fact check all my power. The truth is shrinking, I just grow my own platform. Stop leading, I'm speaking truth to power. Till then, the truth is ours. 21st century social media guide. TPUSA and the whole staff. Tell them Candy said they'll be behind bars. More specifically, I'll be back in charge. Your wallet's occupied, thoughts full of war. My fans are true Americans. My investigation brought the feds in. I question every stage of greed. from the widow of Kirk. I know she's so grief-stricken. I just need time alone with my own thoughts. Got memories on my mind, but couldn't open up my own heart. My combative personality, investigation, and honesty is honestly being crowded by this undercover thoughts. The Matrix catching up with me. Taking my first marriage, I'm fighting for a divorce attorney. With these offers he proposed to me, as I look down at my diamond-encrusted piece. No one man can fact-check all my power. The truth is shrinking, I just grow my own platform. Can you tell I never listened to Kanye before? Stop bleeding, I'm speaking truth to power. Till then that the truth is ours. 21st century social media guy. Charlie Kirk, Andrew Tate, victims of an attack by foreign nations. They say I was suspicious just for asking questions. Well, that's a pretty bad way to start a conversation. At the end of the day, I'm calling your fables. I know damn well you're covering for the Tates. I don't need your outrage, I'm in my own grief. How am I doing? I'm sharply replying. How am I doing? I was reading earlier, now I'm angrily typing words of cabal, huh? Where are you hiding? I got the power that makes your debate so exciting. Now this will be a beautiful roast. I'm turning on the knob, I'm letting the flame grow. Turning into debate, bro. This will be a beautiful roast. Turning on the knob, I'm letting the flame grow. Now this will be a beautiful roast. Turning on the knob, where will I go? Letting the flame, the anger grow. Do you have the power to let the anger go? 21st century social media commentator guy. Just picture that, but it doesn't match, right? Okay, I couldn't get a choir. I'm sorry, okay? I couldn't acquire a choir, but I hope you enjoyed that. That's the last time you'll hear me rap. Thank you.
Till we drop. No, we never ever stop.